Hey guys, how we doing today? Today is a wonderful Saturday here in São Paulo, Brazil. I am just chilling on the couch as I do. It's a bit of a rainy weekend, a little bit cloudy, a little rainy, a little cozy, but it's the beginning of the summer. It's the beginning of the summer in December, so it's quite toasty, it's quite warm. I got a tank top and shorts on and I'm still a little warm. And it's not even sunny today. But anyways, so I wanted to make a video talking about the chaos, the beautiful chaos that I've experienced so far in Brazil, in São Paulo. Okay, so I might title this video like Brazil, but I'm only talking about São Paulo. And I know that São Paulo is not even really like a good representation of Brazil. Brazil is huge, it's massive. They say São Paulo is like the most serious part of Brazil. It's the most like corporate part of Brazil, whatever. I know that it's not really Brazil. It's just one city in Brazil. But I have only been here. I just got here in the beginning of October. Now it's like mid-December. So I've been here for like a little over 2 months. And this is all I have seen from Brazil. So this video is really about São Paulo, but there are some things that I'm talking about that are not just São Paulo. They're just like Brazilian law or Brazilian system or whatever, just stuff that applies to all of Brazil. So it's not just São Paulo, but I'm not really going to be talking about other places besides São Paulo, if that makes sense. Anyways, I wanted to make a video just about my impression, like some of my experiences so far as somebody who's from the United States, who speaks English and Spanish and is learning Portuguese. I speak Portuguese. I can get by. I'm not fluent, but I can get by. I'm learning. And somebody who's been to, I guess, 13 countries now, including the United States, something like that. I've been to various countries in Latin America, lived in various countries in Latin America. I've been to countries in Asia. So this is my first time in Brazil, but I'm very familiar with Latin America and different countries. And I want to talk about my experience in Brazil, like compared to those places, like just because certain things I've experienced here, I have never experienced in any other country. And so some chaotic things. So I just want to share about that. And I just have to say first and foremost that I'm loving my time here. I'm loving it so far. I'm loving São Paulo. I'm loving Brazil. I went and extended my visa my tourist visa, so I can stay 6 months. So I can stay 3 months longer than the normal amount of time. They give you 3 months, but I extended it to stay 6 months because I love it. I don't want to leave. You know, it's great. So I don't know if I'll stay the full 6 months, but because I already know where I want to go next. So I'm already, nomad life. But I love it here. And why did I come to São Paulo? I came to São Paulo because I'm in my big city era. I have spent most of my life in nature. I grew up in the woods in a small town in the United States. As an adult, I lived in the Amazon for 4 years in Ecuador. So I've spent a lot of my life in nature. I'm very familiar and comfortable with nature. Like nature's like my norm. It's like my home. But I'm in my city era right now. You know, I'm single. I'm wanting to socialize and experience city life and a large variety of people. You know, I love the big cities because they have a massive variety of people. I usually meet some people that I connect with. And there's also, I'm vegan, and there's usually also the biggest like groups of vegan activists here and vegan community and vegan food and whatnot. So there are different reasons why I like the big cities, and that's really why I came to São Paulo. Of course, I would love to see many parts of Brazil. I'd love to see it all, but I haven't even seen all of I haven't even seen a lot of the United States, and I'm from there. Like, I have my whole life to see places, and I'm not in a rush to see places, and I'm not traveling to like nature destinations at this point in my life. I'm just checking out some of the big cities, especially in Latin America. I'm very interested in big cities in Latin America, and yeah, so that's basically why I came here. I also like the Brazilian Portuguese accent here, the more like neutral, easier to understand accents here. So there's various reasons why I chose Sao Paulo, why I'm here, and there's always Brazilians in the comment section saying, you got to go here, you got to go here, you got to come here. I know, but I have my whole lifetime to do that, and right now I'm just experiencing Sao Paulo. You know, there are infinite places. There's Brazilians that haven't even seen a lot of Brazil, so like I know there's always amazing places to check out, but I'm not in that mode. I'm not like trying to find all the best nature spots and the best, you know, whatever. That's not what I'm doing. So just so you know, that's why I'm in Sao Paulo. Some people are like, why are you there? Like, I think you would like other places so much more, or it's like maybe other places are more your vibe. So I just wanted to explain that I'm in my big city era of my life right now, my big city girl era. And I just want to reiterate that I am loving it, and nothing that I'm saying in this video is me like hating on Brazil or like I'm not just like trying to be negative or complain or whatever. Like I am just talking about my honest experience because it's kind of funny. Like it's a beautiful chaos. Like obviously every place has issues, and the United States has tons of issues, and every place has issues, but like we can just talk about it and laugh about it because like don't take it personally, don't take it seriously. This is just a lighthearted video that I'm making for fun, for entertainment. So first I'm going to talk about like the complicated stuff that I've been dealing with as far as like extending my visa and just a lot of like bureaucratic and just like, what's the word? Technical things that I've been dealing with. So I'm going to get all the boring stuff out of the way first. I'm going to talk about like basically all of that stuff that I've been dealing with that is crazy. And then I'm going to talk about things like, you know, things that I really like about Sao Paulo or Brazil, or like I'm going to talk about the markets. I'm going to talk about the food. I'm going to talk about stuff like that. So where I'm living and what, you know, what's going on. So that will come after. But first, let's talk about some crazy stuff. So some things that I've experienced in Brazil that I have never experienced in any other country, in like 12 other countries I've been to outside of the US. The first thing is that when I got here, I noticed that like it's very normal here to pay with your card, you know, your debit card or credit card or whatever. You just like, I asked somebody, do you guys like pay with cash? And they said, not really. Everything's pretty much card, or we pay with Peaks. You know, they use this like digital Peaks system. But we don't really pay with cash that much. Like we just like, it's not really common. We just pay with our card or whatever. And like, I'm used to taking out cash in Latin America because I like to go to like markets, like fruit markets and little places where sometimes they just take cash. So I'm used to just taking out cash. But but here in Sao Paulo, like if you go to the Feira livre, like if you go to the market, everybody accepts card. Everybody has a little machine where you can pay with your card. So you don't really need cash. Like most people don't ever need cash. So I just said, okay, I won't take out cash. I'll just use my card. But I was going to stores and restaurants and trying to pay with my card, and they were asking me, débito ou crédito? And I was like, debit or credit? And I was like, debit. Like, I don't have a credit card. I have an international Wise card. It's a Wise is like an international bank account, basically. I have a debit card that I can use anywhere in the world, pretty much, and it's just a normal debit card. I have money in my account. It takes the money out. Boom. It's not a credit card. But for some reason, the system here in Brazil, it registers foreign cards, I guess, as credit cards. Like foreign cards only work if you say that it's a credit card. So even though it's not a credit card, thankfully, some lady told me, she said, you have a foreign card, so it's credit. You need to say that it's credit. It doesn't work as debit. Thankfully, she told me that after a couple days of being in Sao Paulo, so I could stop like having problems, because I would tell people it's debit and then it would not work. The transaction would fail. And I was like, what is happening? But I learned that I have to say that it's credit. I don't know why. I've never owned a credit card in my life, actually. But now I'm always like, crédito, crédito. So yeah. So that's a little confusing for foreigners or anybody who has foreign cards like that, because I don't know if I've ever experienced that. I don't think I've ever paid with a card in any other country and they've been like debit or credit and then it didn't work depending on me saying that it's debit. I don't think I've ever experienced that. So that was a little confusing at first. And then later I ended up having to take out cash for another reason, because I'm in the group of vegan activists, and everybody got new t-shirts. We got t-shirts that say animalistas, and everybody paid for their t-shirts on Pix, but I don't have Pix because I'm not a Brazilian, so I just had to pay with cash. So I had to go to an ATM and get cash. And I realized after a lot of trial and error, after walking around to a lot of different ATMs and decline. I was like, what is going on? Can I not use an ATM in Brazil? What is happening? And then I asked the internet, and it was like, you have to go to Banco 24 Horas. Like, that is the only ATM. There's just one kind of ATM that you can use with these foreign cards. Only one. That is crazy. I have been to Colombia, Mexico, countries in Asia. I've never experienced this problem. I've been able to go to like basically any ATM. I could go to any bank, any ATM, any ATM. You know, I have never not been able to use an ATM with a foreign card in any other country except in Brazil. In Brazil, most of the ATMs do not accept foreign cards. Why? There's even a Santander here in Brazil. There's a Santander in Mexico that I can use. I can't use the one in Brazil. It doesn't accept my card. I don't know what that is about. Like, why the ATMs don't, how come the ATMs don't accept foreign cards? You have to go to this one specific ATM. It's called like Bank 24 Hours. And there are a bunch of these ATMs around, so it's not too difficult to find. But it is something to note. Like, that is something that I wish I had known before I wasted all my time trying to go around and trying different ATMs. Like, I wasted a lot of time one day trying to do that. I think I should have spent more time researching things that you need to know as a foreigner before coming to Brazil. I normally do that, and I didn't do that for Brazil, and maybe that's my fault. But yeah, it's a little bit confusing for a tourist here, because it's a little bit confusing how to access your money. Because the system just does not like foreign cards. I don't know why. So that was a little crazy. And then another thing about Brazil that I have not experienced in any other country is the importance, the necessity of the ID number. Here it's called a CPF. You need a CPF for everything. In Spanish-speaking countries, it's called a cédula. A cédula. That's such a hard word. Cédula. Anyways, and you need it for like more serious stuff, but you don't need it for just like every little thing. Like in Brazil, you need it for every little thing. You need an ID number. You need a CPF in order to use iFood, which is the most common food delivery app that has the most restaurants. So if you want to order food delivery from any restaurant, like, you need to have a CPF. And I found out that as a tourist, you can get a CPF. You can. I still haven't done it. I've been procrastinating. Apparently I can get one. I can go to a post office and get one, and it's pretty easy. But just the fact that I have to go get one is weird. Like, why do I got to go get an ID number just to order food delivery to my Airbnb or to my hotel or whatever? I'm, like, as a tourist. That's weird. Also, you need a CPF for getting a bilhete único, which is like a universal pass to use the metro and the bus and everything. So you need a CPF, and not just that, you also need another document that is basically a residency document. It's basically a document that you can't get as a foreigner. You can only get if you applied for temporary or permanent residency here. It's a residency document. It's for people who are not on a tourist visa. So because I don't have one, basically tourists cannot get a bilhete único, according to the website, because you need a CPF and you need a residency card. So what does that mean? That means I have to pay with cash to use the buses or the metro or whatever. I cannot get like a universal card that I can just keep reloading or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I don't have a lot of experience using public transportation, I will admit, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case in like Mexico City. I remember just like to use the metro bus, like the metro bus. I think my friend just like gave me a random card to use. Like it wasn't like tied to your ID or something. I don't know, but I feel like this is just a Brazil thing. You can let me know in the comments if you've traveled to other countries and you've experienced this kind of thing where you need like residency in order to get a public transportation card. Let me know if you've experienced that specifically, because to me that's a bit crazy. But so every time I go on the bus, everybody's got their card and they go beep beep, and they just go right through, and I have to pay the guy on the bus, the bus attendant, with cash every single time. And it's fine. It's not a big deal, but it is something that I have to do basically as a foreigner, not as a foreigner, as a tourist, as somebody who doesn't have residency here, basically. I can't get a bilhete único. I can only use one ATM here. I need to go get a CPF if I want to use the food delivery apps. And it's strange to me because in the United States, our ID number is called a social security number, but we only use our social security number for like once in a while serious things, like for like very serious things, not for things that like tourists would need to do. Like we use social security numbers once in a while for, yeah, it's not like you don't need a social security number to use Uber Eats, you know, like it's crazy to order like food, you know. Just little things. It's like, it's a bit weird how it seems like the system is not really set up to be helpful for tourists. And that's fine. I'm not saying like the system should cater to tourists. I'm not saying that it should revolve around us. I'm just saying that it is a bit of like a learning curve. It's a bit of like a confusing thing as a tourist. So there's that. And then let me tell you about everything that happened with my visa. So I just want to say that I'm fully aware that as somebody with the United States passport traveling the world, I am extremely privileged when it comes to visas and everything like that. I am aware that I'm extremely privileged, and I know that it's so much harder for Brazilians to go to the United States and to travel to other countries and whatnot. I know. So I don't mean to come across as like a privileged person complaining about visa difficulties when I have it pretty good. Okay, I'm aware of this. If it were my decision, we would not have visas. We would not have any of this stuff. In my world, if I ran the world, we wouldn't have any of this stuff. So yes, it's absolutely messed up how difficult it is for all of us to varying degrees to deal with visa stuff. Right? Some people have to deal with it way more than other people, and that's extremely annoying. And if it's annoying for me, I can't imagine how annoying it is for people who have it way worse, people whose passport is way less privileged. It's ridiculous. The whole system is trash. It needs to be thrown in the trash. It's outdated. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's a way for egomaniacs to feel like they're controlling us, and it's stupid. For many reasons. I could make a whole video about that. But so I just want to say, I'm not like trying to act like I have the worst situation. I have it so bad. I'm aware that it's worse for other people. But I'm going to talk about my experience getting a visa and extending my visa in Brazil. So typically with a US passport, I'm used to being able to go to most countries, especially in Latin America, and just show up there. And they just automatically give me a tourist visa for free. Automatic 90-day stamp, or sometimes 6 months in certain countries like Mexico, maybe Peru. I'm used to that. But for Brazil, specifically for people who are from the United States, Canada, and Australia, I believe, are the 3 countries. I don't know why those 3 countries, but people from those 3 countries, so me included, because I'm from the US, we have to go on the Brazilian government website and we need to pay $80, which is not a lot. It's a symbolic price, but we need to pay $80 and apply for an e-visa. And that was a little bit tricky because I had to have this perfect photo and they declined my photo the first time and I had to upload another one and whatever. But it didn't take that long. I got my e-visa. I paid my $80. It was fine. And the e-visa lasts for 5 years. So that's great. But it is important to note that Brazil was the only country in Latin America where I had to, so far, where I had to apply for an e-visa online and pay for it. So you have that first. And you can only stay for 90 days. Like when you enter the country through the airport, they give you a stamp in your passport for 90 days, for 3 months. This is standard. They do this in Colombia, Ecuador, Argentina, whatever. This is standard. But like countries like Colombia and Ecuador, Brazil allows you to extend for another 3 months. So you can stay up to 180 days, but you have to extend it when you're there. You have to wait until your visa for 90 days is about to expire, and then you go and extend it for another 90 days. So my question is, if they allow you to stay 180 days, why not just give me that from the beginning? Why make me halfway through go to a government building and try to extend it? Why not just give me, like, it's a waste of everybody's time. Like, if I can stay 6 months in a country, then just give me 6 months when I get there, you know? Yeah, it's just a way for them to feel like they have more control and get more money. Because of course I had to pay to extend the visa on top of, so I paid $80 for the first visa and then I had to pay another maybe $20 to extend that. They end up getting $100 from me in total, basically, to stay 180 days in Brazil. So I had to print out this form on the internet to pay the fee. And you have to take the paper to Banco do Brasil, like a Bank of Brazil branch, basically. And so I take it there. Well, I had it on my phone. I had the thing on my phone. And they said, you have to go print it out. So I go print it out. And then I come back, they say, you can't pay with card. You have to pay it with cash. You have to pay for it with cash. And at the time I didn't have cash. So I was like, why? This is a bank. What do you mean I can't pay with a card? Like a bank doesn't accept a card? You have to pay. What is this? Like you have to pay in cash only to extend your visa. You cannot pay for it with your card. So I had to go get cash. And then I come back and the people at the bank were very helpful, I must say, but the bank was very confusing. It was like very high security. And they're like, leave your phone here, leave your bag here. You got to go through this thing. And then you got to go over here. And they helped me, they directed me, but it was confusing. It's probably the most confusing bank I've ever been to. They got that thing like very protected, so they can't get robbed or anything. But anyway, so I pay the fee and then I went on my merry way. Okay, you're good. See you later. But then I have to take the receipt of that payment and I have to go to a police station that is like 30-40 minutes by car away from where I'm staying, away from like the central area of São Paulo. Right now I'm staying in Pinheiros, but I have also stayed in the center, and it's kind of the central area of São Paulo, I would call it. So you have to go to this police station that is like 30-40 minutes away from the center, from the central area, or from Pinheiros or whatever. It's so far. Like, why don't they have a government building closer in the central area where most tourists would be, where you can extend your visa? Why do you have to go to this random police station like way far away? And in total, I ended up going to this police station 4 times before I got my visa. And let me explain why. First, I go on a perfectly normal day. It's a Friday. It's within the working hours. Perfectly normal day. I go there. They say, we're closed. Because the day before was a holiday. So they just decided to take the next day off too. The second time I went to the police station, they told me, oh, you're too early. You need to wait until it's 30 days before your visa expires. I didn't realize that I had to go within 30 days of my expiration. I was trying to do it in advance. So they said, you got to come back next week. The third time I went, The bus took a long time and I got there late. I got there at around 5 p.m. The place closes at 6 p.m. According to Google Maps, it closes at 6 p.m. I get there, they say, no, the part of the building that does the visa stuff is already closed. The whole building closes at 6, but the visa thing, that's already closed. You got to come back earlier. So on the 4th time that I went, I finally got my visa extension. I went 4 times to this place. I was so mad. I was so frustrated because it's so far and annoying, and the bus ride, and it's like full of people, and it's like, oh, it takes so much time. It's such a waste of time to spend your afternoon going to a police station and coming back for nothing. You know, it's like such a waste of time and energy and stuff. So that was really frustrating. But I finally got it. I got my visa extension, so that's good. But it took me a lot. It took me a long time to do that. Way more effort than it should have. It's 2025. This is something that we should be able to do on the internet. And I'm not hating on Brazil for being like not up to date with technology and to be super horrible with bureaucracy any more than I'm hating on any other country, because the United States, every time I go back to the United States and I find myself in the airport waiting in the customs, waiting in the immigration line, and I am a US citizen, and all of the US citizens are just waiting in this super long line to get our passports checked. And I've been in lines that like they take 3 hours, like they don't move. And I'm like, we are living in the dark ages with like, what is the point of all this technology we have if we're still waiting in super long lines in the airports to get our passports checked by a human being? Why is this all not automated and digital? Why are we all waiting hours in line to get our passports physically checked by human beings in 2025? Like this should all be automated. I'm like, what is the point of all this technology if we're not even going to use it? It's torture. Airports suck. Airports suck, and they're extremely outdated. Airports are very, very, like, they're not up to date with the technology. Anyways, that's my opinion. Okay. So finally, we get past that topic. So I think that's everything I want to say about the complicated stuff that I've experienced here, that I haven't experienced in any other country. But I must say, I didn't try to extend my visa in any other country. So that might have been complicated in other countries too. But definitely the thing in Brazil about the CPF, needing that for everything, the ATMs, not being able to use any ATMs except one as a foreigner. These things I've only experienced in Brazil. So that is unique to Brazil. I don't know what's up with their payment system, but yeah. Anyways, so let's get on to more fun stuff. So I wanted to talk about the Feira Livre. So the Feira Livre is like their outdoor market. Their Feira Livre, it reminds me of a tianguis in Mexico because it's like a once a week outdoor street market with all kinds of produce and food and stuff like that. That's something that's unique because I didn't experience that as much in other countries. There just is a market every day in some place. But something very specific to Brazil and Mexico is that they have these pop-up markets. Like one day a week, they have this pop-up market. So I think it's interesting because, for example, there's a Feira Livre on my street here, but it only happens on Thursday. So it's kind of like a special event. So I like that. I like that about Mexico and Brazil is that they have these pop-up one day a week markets. So you can it's like a special occasion, you know, when it's only one day, everybody goes and it's fun. I like it. But something that I experienced in Brazil that I have not experienced in any other country is, how do I explain this? I call it like positive aggression or positive, because it's very positive, but it's like, it's very obnoxious. It's very intense. The vendors are very enthusiastic and very loud, and they love to yell all the time. So when you're walking through the Feira Livre here in Brazil, it's just constant yelling. It's like the vendors are just constantly like yelling prices and saying what they have. And a lot of the times, I think that they're not even doing it for the customers. They're doing it just to have fun. Like a lot of times it seems like the vendors are just playing with each other and they're just like doing it back and forth to each other. And like, I don't know if it's a little game that they play, but it seems like they're just having fun with it. And it's not even just to catch the attention of customers, but it's also just to like have fun. I think they're out there for hours and they're just like singing and playing with each other. But yeah, when I was walking through, like, they were yelling so loud, it was like piercing my ears. Like sometimes it was like painful almost. It was so loud. But it's funny. I love it. It's entertaining. It's very intense. It's not a peaceful market experience at all. It's very different than like Ecuador and Peru. It's like and even Mexico, it's a lot more like relaxed, very like chill vibes at the market. There are people who are like say, do say stuff to you to get your attention, or like they do say things to kind of advertise what they have, but like it happens, but it's not so intense. It's not so loud, it's not so intense. Brazilian Feira Livres are just very intense. And this is in Pinheiros in Sao Paulo. Like this is in Sao Paulo. Like imagine what it's like in other cities like of Brazil. I don't even know. So yeah, so the Feira Livres are very intense here, but cool. I mean, I like it's funny, it's fun, I like the vibe, but it is very intense. I'm not used to that. I'm used to more chill market vibes. In Ecuador, they'll be like, Bessie, que buscaba, Bessie? And in Mexico, they're like, hola, güera, que busca, güera? But it's still a very chill vibe. It's like a calmer voice, and it's not so intense. But in Brazil, it's just like, tres reais, tres. Like they're just screaming. Like, yeah, it's funny. Hey, so my camera died, and then I filmed my part 2. And then I realized that I wasn't even recording my audio. So I have to do it again now. Great. So I'm just going to do it like as fast as possible. And if it seems a bit rushed or not going into detail, it's because I just wasted 17 minutes filming part 2 just to realize it wasn't even recording. So, okay. So I think I talked enough about the Feira Livre thing. The last things I just wanted to talk about that I love about Brazil and in Sao Paulo is the diversity. Sao Paulo, one of my first impressions was that it is the most diverse place that I've ever been outside of the United States. So I love diversity. I love multiculturalism. I love that about the US. I love that about here. That was one of my first impressions, like all kinds of physical appearances, skin colors, like faces, like everything, there's just so much diversity. Anybody could be Brazilian. Maybe from the clothes you could tell, but not from the like the physical, like the body. You cannot tell from the body, from the face, that someone is Brazilian. It's an incredibly diverse place. And then especially like Sao Paulo, you have the biggest Japanese population outside of Japan in Sao Paulo. There's a lot of people from all over the world here, and that's awesome to me. I mean, it's a big city, and that tends to happen, but I really love that, especially the Japanese thing, because my favorite store that's like 2 blocks from me is a Japanese store. They have other stuff too, like Korean and Thai stuff, not just Japanese, but it's an Asian store, and it's my paradise. As a vegan, as a person who loves Asian food, that store is my number 1 store that I shop at all the time. The Pão de Açúcar, like the main grocery store here in Brazil, it's right down the street. I go there sometimes, but I go to the Japanese store way more. Because as a lover of vegan Asian food, like, yeah, it's paradise. So I love that about Sao Paulo. Like, I'm going to miss that when I leave, having that literally the Japanese store right near me. That's one of the reasons I'm like staying in this particular apartment. Because I love that place. And if you ask me what my favorite food in the United States is, I'm going to tell you Thai restaurants, basically any Asian restaurant, Ethiopian, Jamaican, Caribbean. Like I'm going to tell you Mexican. I'm going to tell you basically all foreign food. Okay. I'm going to tell you food from other countries. That's what my favorite food in the United States is. It's food from other countries. I do enjoy Brazilian food. There's some Brazilian vegan restaurants around here. There's some buffets. I love the buffets here. That's one of my favorite things about Brazil, is they're big into the buffets. There's a couple vegan buffets near me or vegetarian buffets, mostly vegan. I enjoy those a lot. Love the rice and beans and the veg and love it. But in my heart, my favorite food is always Asian food. And that's what I make a lot at home. And that's, it's like my go-to. But I love the Brazilian food too, the vegan feijoada and stuff like that. I noticed that food in general in Latin America sometimes tends to be a bit salty. I noticed this in like when I was in Ecuador and Colombia, and sometimes I think people go a little too heavy on the salt in Latin America. That's not a Brazilian thing. It's just Latin America. I think you guys like really like salt, and a lot of the food sometimes at restaurants is too salty for my taste. But I love the food. I still love the food anyways. Like I love the vegan food in Latin America. But yeah, I love all of it. I love having all of the options of different types of foods. I love that I can go. There's like a guy from Syria at the Feira livre. He sells like hummus and like Arabic food, like I love that too. Like I just love the variety. I love the acai. Once you've had acai in Brazil, you can't really have it anywhere else. Like it's not the same, like very pure, like rich flavor. And so I'm loving the food here. I'm loving the diversity, the multiculturalism. I think it's amazing. The last thing I want to say is that I love the casual vibe, especially with clothes, with everything, like personalities, way of interacting, everything. But I especially want to talk about clothes. The fact that it's so normal in Brazil, even in Sao Paulo, which I know it's even more normal in other parts of Brazil, but even in Sao Paulo, it is very normal to see people with shorts and flip-flops. Flip-flops are like the chinelo is like the Brazilian symbol, in my opinion. Like you guys own the flip-flops and I love it. I love the flip-flop vibe. The flip-flop vibe is it's so comforting to me. It kind of reminds me of gringos in the summer. So it's kind of like nostalgic for me, like kind of like home, feels like home to me. But it's even more, I think you guys use flip-flops. You guys wear flip-flops and shorts even more, Brazilians. And I love it. I love the casual vibe of it. After spending years in Spanish-speaking countries in Latin America where the clothing, the dressing kind of norms is a lot more conservative. Most people don't feel comfortable wearing, like most people don't wear shorts and flip-flops even when it's hot. And I don't understand that. It's just like cultural reasons. Most people will wear like pants and closed-toed shoes, like sneakers and stuff, even when it's warm, even when it's hot, just all the time. And I don't get that. I don't understand why there's this idea in some Spanish-speaking countries, in some places where like to wear shorts and flip-flops is like you're wearing like you might as well be in your underwear. You're wearing like around the house clothes. You look like a slob. You're wearing like pajamas. And that's not true. That's like just your perception of it. It's just a cultural thing. I don't like that. So I like that Brazil is like just super relaxed about like, yeah, everybody wears flip-flops and shorts and like it doesn't matter. Anytime, any day, any time of year, doesn't matter. And any place. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the beach. It could be anywhere. It could be in freaking Sao Paulo. So yeah, I love the vibe of the people and the clothes and the markets and the diversity and the beautiful chaos of everything. And if I didn't have the story of the visa and all the chaos, I wouldn't have a great story for this video. So I'm grateful for it all. Brazilians have been so nice to me. It's already a global stereotype of Brazil that Brazilians are very friendly and stuff. We already know that, but like, yeah, I've just had a great time. It's just been so easy to talk to people, despite my Portuguese not being fluent. It's just been very easy to just, I don't know, to just socialize here, to just feel like I kind of just fit in here. And yeah, this is a place where I could see myself living forever. But I think that I will continue to be a nomad for some time, for at this point in my life, because basically I am probably not going to do all the bureaucracy and the paperwork and everything to get residency in order to stay somewhere long term until I have a strong enough reason to, which is probably like a relationship. So as long as I'm single, I'm probably just going to keep nomading around, to be honest. I'm probably just going to keep staying on tourist visas and then after a few months going to another country. I like doing that for the time being. It gets tiring. Honestly, I would like to have a reason to stay somewhere longer. And I don't have to wait for a relationship. I mean, I could just do that. Brazil has a digital nomad visa that I could get and stay here for 2 years, and then you can just keep renewing it or whatever. So I could stay longer if I wanted to. It's not that I don't want to. I love it. I definitely could see myself living here in Brazil. A little part of my heart, though, does miss Spanish-speaking countries because that's that's my first love, and I feel more fluent and comfortable in Spanish. So I do miss that. But I'm loving Brazil. I'm loving everything about it, and yeah. So I definitely could live here. Like no problem. I could live here. And of course, I've only seen Sao Paulo. There's a massive country of amazing places. I know. Just saying, from what I've seen, I definitely could see myself living here. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, like more permanently living here. But for now, I'm going to be here for a couple more months at least. And yeah, I am enjoying it a lot. I'm really happy and grateful to be here. I wanted to come to Brazil for years and years, and I'm finally here. So yeah. And I have my whole life to come back as well. So there's no rush. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. For those of you who never miss a single video of mine and you watch to the end and you listen to me and you love it and you support me and you comment and you like and you what do you do? Some of you even are members, and love you. Thank you. And guess what? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.